Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Take It to the Hizzy Fantasy Football TITTH number 181. I am your host, Justin Bruni, but we got a full gang, full Hizzy this evening. We got Stephen Hammond, Emran Khan, and our special guest, Dylan Moran. How are we doing, gentlemen? Happy Thursday.
What's going on?
Thursday.
Doing great, man. Got a 3-day weekend coming up. Justin Fields is QB1. Got an awesome game on tonight. Man, I am loving life.
Can't mind the 3-day weekend either, but yeah, Justin Fields, that's pretty exciting too. I didn't hate the montages you sent me from the Nickelback hero stuff earlier. That was pretty solid.
I like it.
Got me revved up, but don't send that stuff to me, while I'm at work. Gets a little too excited for me. Dylan, Steve, how we guys doing?
We're doing good.
Dylan is a Seattle Seahawks fan. Are you excited for tonight, Dylan, or are you a little concerned?
Not excited at all.
Not excited. A majority of the money is coming in on the Rams this evening, but the majority of the money is also coming in on the over. So hopefully we get some fireworks tonight. Do you guys have any best bets or props you're looking to leverage in a potentially high-scoring game?
Yeah, so I got Cooper Kupp most receiving yards for plus 250. And I got Lockett longest reception over 23.5 yards. I think we see a bomb. I like this to be a Lockett game.
Okay. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, so for me, I got a little same-game parlay I'm cooking. I got Cooper Kupp. I'm kind of heavy on Cooper Kupp in this game, so I got Cooper Kupp anytime touchdown, Darrell Henderson anytime touchdown. Also double down on Cooper Kupp to get 2 or more touchdowns. And so that's plus 28.40. So, almost about 28.5 to 1. So we'll see. With my luck, though, it's going to be a Robert Woods game and Kupp gets 0.
I own both of them, so I won't hate it. How about you, Dylan? What do you really like about tonight?
It's funny that you mentioned Robert Woods because Sean McVay just got done talking about that today, about how they need to get him more opportunities. And what better time to do it? I don't know any Robert Wood prop bets. I don't have any of that kind of information available to me. So I don't know what they have for him. But whatever it is, I would probably take it because I could just imagine Seattle has never been able to defend their outside sweeps ever. Okay. That's how this Rams always tear apart the Seahawks, and Robert Woods always runs those. I know Van Jefferson's been doing it a lot this year, but I could see Robert Woods starting to take those touches away just because Sean just wants to give it to him. He feels bad. So whatever bets he has, I'll take.
I think he's at 5.5, so I would like that as well. I'm looking at Russ Wilson over 1.5 passing touchdowns and a Tyler Lockett anytime touchdown as well, Steve. I also already won a prop. I took the under Chris Carson 40 rushing yards. Let's go. Easy. I already won. It's perfect. I love it. We're making money over here. We got Cam in the chat saying Henderson 2 TDs and Woods at least 1 as well. Absolutely love it. I'm starting Woods. I'm starting Henderson. I'm starting Higbee. I'm starting Kupp, all in various leagues. I'm starting Stafford. What am I talking about? I got a lot going on the line tonight in this game.
I'm hesitant on Henderson, but that's fine.
What'd you say on Henderson?
I'm hesitant on Henderson.
Okay. Yeah, he's been kind of beat up though. Like recently, he's been questionable, taking his dings, but fantasy points, I think out of his first 3 games, he has over 15 in 3 of them or over 14 in 3 of them. So let's jump right into that. We're looking at our Monkey Knife Fight props. Monkey Knife Fight, we're looking at the pairing of Tyler Lockett and Drel Henderson. The over-under for both players in fantasy points is 16.5 points. We'll start with Steve, and we'll come around here. Steve, what are you thinking? Over-under for both of these guys, Tyler Lockett and Darrell Henderson. Numbers at 16.5 for both.
So I'm taking the over on Lockett. I've already alluded to. I think he's going to have a big game here for the Seahawks. I'm going to go the under on Henderson. You mentioned it just a moment ago. He's been banged up. Just don't like this matchup for him. I think you're going to see the Rams passing a lot in this game. So I'm going to go under for Henderson.
Okay, fair enough. What do you think, Dylan?
I'm in the same boat. Lockett didn't do anything last week, and if the Seahawks are good at anything, it's just going back and forth on their wide receivers and confusing the hell out of fantasy owners. So I'm going to go with it. So DK's not going to do anything. It's a Lockett kind of night, so definitely over. And then Henderson, yeah, everything everyone's already said. Plus, they're running into probably one of the stronger pieces of Seattle's defense, which is Bobby Wagner up the middle, Big Al Woods in the middle. It's not friendly in there for him.
Sure. What do you think,
Yes.
Emron?
Yeah, I got a clean sweep here. I think Tyler Lockett is due for a big game, like everybody mentioned. He wasn't really involved last week. I think he's just due. And I think for Henderson, although I do think he's going to get a short yardage touchdown, I do think they'll try to run, but I don't think the yards are going to be there. I think he's going to be around maybe 10 points, and most of that coming from that one touchdown. I think they're really going to rely on Stafford airing it out tonight.
Okay. I'm going to go over for both, actually. The Seattle Seahawks have allowed the most rushing yards on the ground with 608 so far through the first 4 weeks of the NFL. So I'll take that upside for Henderson, who's been getting a good amount of yardage on the ground and a fair amount pass catching as well, a couple of touchdowns. And I'm also going to go with the over for Tyler Lockett. I already have the touchdown prop on him. Darius Williams, who I think has been getting better throughout his career. So far this year, the numbers aren't looking great. 96.9 quarterback rating when targeted, and was it 69.7 completion rating allowed? So a lot of upside for that Tyler Lockett matchup tonight. Not so much maybe for DK Metcalf running into Jalen Ramsey. Next matchup we have here for our props, we have Matthew Stafford versus Russell Wilson. Over under for fantasy points is at 22.5 for Stafford and 21.5 for Russell Wilson. I actually like the over for both here. I think Russ Wilson's going to have to add some extra value with his legs tonight. I'm not necessarily trusting Alex Collins, and I think Wilson will extend a few plays and hit the over here. And Stafford, I'm starting him in fantasy, need all those touchdowns, so I'm going with the over there as well. We'll go in reverse this time. We'll go Emron and back around. What do you think, Emron?
Yeah, so I'm going to go with the over as well. I do think it's going to be a high-scoring game, so I think the quarterbacks are going to play a big part of that. And like you just mentioned, I think with Russell Wilson, I think he's going to be sneaky for a couple of long rushes tonight. So I'm going to go with the over on both of them.
Okay, sounds good. What do you think, Dylan?
Yeah, I'm fine with over on both. Even if it's just the Seahawks coming back, scoring garbage points even.
Yeah.
Either way, I think they're both going over. High-scoring game.
All right, very good. Steve?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with everyone. I think these two, they're superstars. They're just good quarterbacks. They're going to get the job done and go over both these numbers.
All right, sounds good. Sounds like we're all with it here. We got the Makeshift Manager podcast in the chat asking if they should start Dalton Schultz against the Giants or Tyler Higbee tonight. I think this is actually almost the exact question that we have in our chat or in our
I think it is.
Yeah, so I guess we're starting early. I'm going Dalton Schultz, a little bit more upside with Dak Prescott throwing to him. I like Tyler Higbee a lot. I'm starting him tonight, but that's also because all my other tight ends are beat up. So I'm a must start for Tyler Higbee. But between the two, I would like Dalton Schultz more. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it's Schultz. Yeah, I think Giants have suffered against the tight end position.
Yeah, and he's on a heater lately, too. He's catching all these touchdowns. And I'm big on just riding it until it stops, and the Giants' defense doesn't really worry me.
Put a bow on it, Dylan.
I was big into Higbee at the start of the season on our own podcast when we were talking about fantasy. He was one of those like late-round steals or something after Everett went to Seattle. I was so big on him, and all he's done is just let me down. So, yeah, ride the train with Schultz. Go for it. I got no problem with that.
All right, right on. Let's jump into our Thursday night football game preview. Emron, we'll start with you. Where are you at with this one? We'll start with the spread. You like the Seattle Seahawks to cover the 2.5?
I do not, unfortunately. If it was +3, I would favor Seattle to keep it close. 2.5, it's just too iffy for me. I don't think it's going to be a 1-point game. So I'll take the Rams to cover the 2.5, and I like the over in this game.
You like the over? Okay. Dylan, Steve, what do you guys think?
Definitely over. Easy over. And, yeah, they're not going to cover. Not a chance.
So you have the Rams covering the 2.5 then?
Oh, yeah.
Man, I was hoping for like the heat, the passion, the fire, getting a Seattle fan in here.
I have tempered my expectations this season to almost nothing.
Right,
so if they
enough.
end up like last week's win I was on cloud 9 because my expectations for this team just absolutely plummeted after the Titans game. That was depressing. And then to see what they did against the Vikings, I was just spiraling at that point. So I'm keeping it low key.
Yeah, so I took both money line here for Rams. I got it a little bit lower. I think I got it at 130. And I also got the spread at 2, but I even like it at 2.5. I think the Rams are a better team here. They kind of got whipped last week against the Cardinals, so I like them this week. For the total, I just think it's a smidge too high. I'm going to go the under here.
Yeah, so I actually bet this one under 54 points. We've moved down a number here, and I took the Rams money line with that parlay. So Rams money line, taking the under 54 points. I see kind of like a 28-21 at most, like maybe 31-24. I know that would hit the over, but like that's like my ceiling for the scoring in this game. I do think that the Rams really try to put the ball on the ground. Like I said, the Seahawks have allowed the most rushing yards on the ground, 5th most in the air. So there's like just constant upside in this entire game for the Rams, right? Anytime they get into a sticky situation, they should be able to, dial up a play that's going to keep either the drive alive or the chains moving. So going with the Rams in this one, I couldn't really fade the public on the spread, but I am going to fade the public on the over. Like I said, 70% plus coming in on the over here, but I'm sniffing out the under. I think we're going to be seeing kind of a slower, grinded out type of game from the Rams, trying to hold the clock on the road on a short week. Maybe try to reserve some of the the Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods deep plays for another week or something like that. Anything else to add here as far as leverage over one or the other? Could we see a Russell Wilson game-winning drive? Usually gets about 3 to 5 a year. He doesn't have one yet.
The only thing that would put me in that it's a primetime game. And Russell Wilson thrives in primetime, especially at home. I don't know what his stats are in his career, but we know they're high. The win-loss is in his favor. It just doesn't, on a short week, the Rams are mad. They got stomped on by the Cardinals, like what was said. It just doesn't look good. Just doesn't look good. Russ is 4-0 on Thursday night. There you go. There's your stat. So it's definitely possible, but I'm not in favor.
One thing I wanted to add real quick, we're talking about trends and everything like that. Sean McVay coming after a loss against the spread, 13-6-1.
Wow, that's a good one. I like that.
I can't take too much credit. I was watching TikTok a couple of hours ago and it came up, so I was like, it will come in handy a little bit later.
You don't
That's
tell
what you're supposed
that
to be
part
doing,
to
Emron.
people. You just take that one and run with it. Yes, I found that information on my own. You just run with it.
I love it. No, that's what you're supposed to be doing, man. Keep your ear to the ground so when you get on the Hizzy, you got something to share. That's the whole point.
Absolutely. Dropping knowledge.
Dropping knowledge. Let's go, baby. Let's go. All right, cool. So let's jump into our sitter starts for this evening, and then after that, we'll jump into our player props. All right, so first up, starter sits for this evening, Russell Wilson tonight or Jalen Hurts, I believe it's Sunday, versus Carolina.
I still like Russell Wilson here. I think Carolina's got a good defense that could give Jalen Hurts some trouble just being a young quarterback. I think you ride with your star here and you start Russell Wilson.
I agree with you. I agree.
Yeah, same boat. And I've been big on Carolina's defense since that draft where they took all defensive players. I'm in love with that team. They're probably it might be my second favorite team. I'm not even sure. I love what they're building over there. So
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts in for a rough night or day, whatever time period it is.
Yeah, I agree as well. I'm going to ride with Russ. As good as the Rams defense is, it's not invincible. We saw that on Sunday with Arizona and Kyler Murray did to them. And I think Jalen Hurts is going to have his hands full. Like Dylan mentioned, Carolina's got a really good defense building. They came back to life a little bit, with what the Dallas Cowboys did them, but also I think that also speaks more to how good Dallas's offense is with Dak back healthy. So I think the Eagles are going to have their hands full. So I ride with Russ.
Yep, I'm riding with Russ as well, so a pretty clean sweep there. I don't have it for the bottom line. I must have deleted it. But the next one is Matt Stafford tonight up against the Seahawks or Tom Brady versus Miami. I still like Stafford for all those reasons I mentioned. 5th most passing yards allowed. I don't love these corners. What is it? They have DJ Reed and Sidney Jones. Like the safeties, but I think the corners are in for a long night. Any love for Tom Brady here, guys?
I got love for Tom Brady. I think he's solid. Miami also just got awful. They got to start Jacoby Brissett, so I think you can see Tom out there on offense quite often.
I'm exactly thinking the same thing, Steve. I think that's going to be that game. I think is going to say more about the Dolphins' offense just being unable to do anything against the Bucks defense, and I think Brady's going to take advantage. Although he won on Sunday, I don't think he was happy with how that game played out. I'm sure he could have thought he could have done more. So angry Brady, right? I think RIP to the Dolphins.
All right, fair enough. Dylan, what do you think?
I don't disagree with anything that was said there, but there's a vibe right now with Tampa and Tom. They struggled against the Rams, which kind of made sense, but they still struggled. They struggled against the Patriots, and the Miami defense is nowhere near either the Rams, or the Patriots. But it just seems like something's a little weird, and I'm gonna need to see some kind of turnaround. Maybe that's this week. I'm gonna need to see the turnaround first, and then I got Matthew Stafford against this Seahawks defense. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll ride with Stafford. I'm good with that.
Consider the source, guys. He's a Seahawks fan.
Fair.
I know what I'm talking about, Eric.
Let's see. We got someone asking in the chat, Danny Dimes or Jalen Hurts? You guys buying in on the Danny Dimes hype?
Not his hype, but for fantasy, between the two, I'll actually go with Danny Dimes because I think the Cowboys are going to kick the Giants' ass, and there's going to be a lot of garbage time points for him.
Okay, fair enough. What do you guys think?
Boy, oh boy. I just like having Jalen Hurts mobility. It's not like Danny Dimes isn't mobile. He gets out there every once in a while, but there's not a whole lot designed for him. Like Jalen Hurts is designed to get out there and get those rushing yards on top of everything else. I know I just got done talking up Carolina's defense, but I have to pick between the two. Good Lord.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go with Jalen.
Yeah, I'll go with Jalen too. He had a really good game last week, despite the loss up against Kansas City. Looked really good. I'll go with him over Danny Dimes. I'm not a big Dan Jones guy in general.
Yeah, I'm not a Dan Jones guy either, but I'm going to actually ride with him this week. I think he'll have a lot of opportunity. He found John Ross on like a 53-yard bomb last week. I think you see some more of that. So, yeah, I just think I really don't like either of them, but if I had to pick, I'm going Danny Dimes.
All right, very good. Let's jump back to Thursday Night Football. Darrell Henderson Jr. tonight or James Robinson versus Tennessee this Sunday? I'm leaning towards Henderson tonight. Again, I already mentioned Seattle allowing a ton of yards on the ground.
Give me Robinson against the Titans.
You like him?
I'll take Robinson against the Titans.
All right.
I mean, you kind of have to take Robinson almost solely for the fact that the Titans allowed the Jets running back, a rookie nonetheless, Michael Carter, to have his first legitimately good game of the year.
Right.
And James Robinson he was great last year's rookie season. He's following it up already with a great start to this year. Yeah, I'll take Robinson. I love the kid.
All right, fair enough. What do you think, Steve?
I'm going James Robinson. We've seen him have 2 big weeks, and then going up against a Tennessee defense that's absolutely Swiss cheese. It's easy James Robinson.
All right, fair enough. Tennessee, I think I saw they only had the fifth least yards allowed on the ground. So I don't know if they just got an extra injury there. I did see, that Michael Carter found pay dirt, which is nice. But I still like Drel Henderson. I think he's going to get used a lot tonight. At least that's my version of the game script. Rams are going to try to run a lot. It's going to be a lot of Drel Henderson and Sony Michel. So I'm going to stick with him on a Thursday night. Let's move over to the wide receivers. Tyler Lockett tonight or Deontay Johnson versus Denver this Sunday?
Spicy.
I'm going to go Lockett. We've just been saying it all week, all episode, that this is going to be his big game.
Right.
Not to say I do like Deontay Johnson. He's going up against just a little tougher defense.
Okay.
Yeah, and I get worried about the QB situation too for Deontay Johnson. It's just I love the talent. I think he's a solid player, but I don't like the situation he's in. Denver's secondary is really tough. It's just doesn't look like a good matchup there, and I think I'm going to have to go with Lockett here.
Okay, fair enough.
That's all I was going to say. One's got Russell Wilson thrown to him, and the other one's got Big Ben. So
broken Big Ben. At least Big Ben's playing at home against Denver, but I don't know how much that's really going to do for his pectoral, his pectoral issue.
The old potato with legs there. No, I'll take Lockett.
Potato sack, that's for sure. He goes down like one. I'm going to go Lockett as well. I mean, I'm all in on the props. Really heavy on him tonight. Need him to go big, so keeping it simple. Robert Woods versus Kenny Gallaudet. I'm sticking with Robert Woods. Kenny Gallaudet, I think, is going to be dealing with Trevon Diggs. Don't want any part of it. Kind of like a sneaky Kadarius Toney start again.
I'm going to go Robert Woods also. I think Gallaudet is just kind of streaky. He has turned out, I think, 3 of 4 double-digit performances. So I do think he has some upside. I just think Robert Woods is bigger.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with the inside information that Dylan was giving us earlier. This is going to be the Robert Woods breakout game that we've all been waiting for.
Let's go. Yeah, they already know my answer. I was talking him up already. We're good to go.
Yes,
I
sir.
like Kenny. I like Galladay's trajectory so far. I mean, it took him a couple games to get going, and it just seems like it's going to keep going up. But nah, Woodsy. Let's go, Woodsy.
All right, sounds good. Van Jefferson this evening or KJ Osborne for the Vikings versus Detroit? I like Van Jefferson. He's actually been more than reliable, but pretty consistent.
I'm going to go with KJ Osborne. The Lions secondary is pretty bad. They had very few talented players to begin with, and they're all hurt. And with Dalvin Cook's status kind of being all over the place, I think Kirk Cousins is going to air it out. And this is what he does, right? Kirk Cousins feasts against bad defenses. This is when he shines.
All right.
Yeah, I agree. I love Osborne is, a little iffy here there, but I love him in this game. And then once again, we're coming back around to Robert Woods. Van Jefferson's not going to get the touches that we've been seeing through 4 weeks because Robert Woods is going to get involved in this game plan. So I think you're going to see less usage there. So just going to have to go with Osborne.
I'm going to go Osborne too. Everyone's going to agree here. Just the Lions, watching the Bears be able to just carve them up last week, and Mooney had a bunch of big plays. So, I mean, I like KJ Osborne to get in there. And Kirk Cousins does thrive against these just shitty teams. So I like him to go, 300 yards against this team.
All right. Fair enough. I still like Van Jefferson tonight. 2 out of his 4 games, 80 yards receiving, 2 out of his 4 games, 2 touchdowns so far, 2 out of the 4. And catches and targets have been there the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to stick with him tonight. We got Cobra Gaming in the chat asking, excuse me, pick one, Mike Williams, Terry McLaurin, or James Robinson. I cannot stay away from Scary Terry. Can't do it.
Scary Terry for days.
Same.
Keeping it simple.
Yeah.
You good, Steve? Terry?
Yep. I mean, he's just so reliable.
Yep. And a very popular question in the chat this evening. Second time it's been asked. Higbee or Dalton Schultz? I believe we all went around for Dalton Schultz there. Dalton Schultz is the answer. Greg also in the chat asking, also start 2, PPR, Jalen Waddle, Michael Pittman, Damien Williams, or Devonta Smith. I am going not Waddle because he's got Tampa Bay, although Tampa Bay they've allowed a lot of yards in the air. So yeah, give me Waddle and Williams there.
I agree with you, Justin. Williams, I think, is a solid pick. He's taken over the bulk of the carries, and he had a decent game last week. After that, it gets tough, but I'll ride with Waddle. I like his talent. I think he'll find a way to get some points for you.
He still gets a lot of targets, even with Brissett there.
Oh, boy. It's a tough one. Because I really want to take Pittman. I really do. But just going against the Ravens, that's tough. I'm definitely going to take Waddle. I love Waddle. And just to spice things up, give me Pittman. Because I got him starting for one of my actually in my leagues anyway. So I just got to trust my boy to do his thing. Come on, man.
Fair enough. Steve, what do you think?
Yeah, so we're kind of a mixture of answers here because I like Pittman and I like Damien Williams here taking over for that Dave Montgomery's injury. So
yeah, Greg, dig a little deeper there. Me and Emron like Waddle. Steve and Dylan like Pittman. Sounds like we're all in on Williams though.
I am
as well. Yep. All right, cool. All right, so we already did Higbee versus Dalton Schultz. This would be the 3rd time now. Let's move on to Will Disley tonight or Mo Ali Cox at Baltimore on Sunday. What do you guys think?
Man.
I'm gonna have to take Disley because we still have Everett. Seattle does not utilize tight ends very often, so this is gonna be tough. but with some tough corners on the outside for both Lockett and DK to deal with, they're going to have to look somewhere, even if it's down to seam inside somewhere. That's where, we've seen Disley be productive in the past. You just have to throw the daggone ball to him. We'll see if they do it or not.
Yeah,
But I trust him being the only tight end really out there tonight for Seattle as well.
Okay.
And for
Yeah, we
this
saw
question,
Gerald Everett out with COVID.
yeah. So for me, this comes back to something we were talking about earlier. It has less to do with the players we're talking about and more to do with the quarterbacks. I like Russell Wilson more than I like Carson Wentz, so I'm gonna go with this.
Good point. I like it. Steve?
I do like Disley, but I'm going to go Mo Alley Cox. He had a big week last week, 2 touchdowns. I like him to keep that going.
Okay. Yeah, for me, Mo Alley Cox is still going to be touchdown dependent, and I just don't trust the Colts in the red zone. They've been very mistake-ridden in the red zone. Plus, they're going up against Baltimore. The reason I like Mo Alley Cox's upside is Baltimore has really been able to shut down the top receivers, and you're really going down the list for like your third and fourth highest target type of guy. So I still like Will Disley tonight, though. As far as like being touchdown dependent, I like his dependability a little bit more this evening. Like the matchup. We got Cobra Gaming in here asking about pick 2, Keenan Allen. Chris Godwin, A.J. Brown. Then he says Thielen, not Godwin. So Keenan Allen, Thielen, and A.J. Brown. Pick 2. I go Keenan Allen always, no matter what. I'm not sure what I'm going to get out of A.J. Brown, so I'll go with Thielen on more reliability. I don't know, if he's going to be on a snap count or anything like that coming back from injury.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to go with Thielen against the Lions matchup. It smells like a multi-touchdown game for him.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, easy. Always Keenan.
Steve?
Thielen.
Yeah, unless Vrabel comes out and says something crazy that really makes me like A.J. Brown. It's just too risky this week.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's jump into our player props. We got about 17 minutes or so before we got game time. We already went over the passing yards, so let's go over to the passing touchdowns. Matthew Stafford over under 2.5 passing touchdowns, and Russ is at the 1.5. Can Stafford hit 3 and can Russ hit 2? We'll start with Steve and come around.
Yeah, I think they both can hit it, so I'm going to go over for both.
All right, I like it. What do you think, Dylan?
It's a good question. What do I think?
What
3 and 2. I think Russ can definitely handle his 2. I'm okay with Russ.
Okay.
I got a weird feeling for Matt because I feel like one of his passing touchdowns is going to get taken away on some kind of sweep. A 15-yarder with either Woods, Van Jefferson. One of them is going to be taken away. So I'm going to go under for Stafford.
Some of those sweeps, though, he does the set hut
The
push.
Push, yeah.
The little push
true.
counts as a PA.
I was thinking the same thing, Dylan. So I'll go over for Russ, under for Stafford. Again, we keep talking about Robert Woods, and he's deadly sometimes on those end arounds. I really feel like they're going to get down the red zone and they're going to do an end around to Robert Woods, and he's going to get a touchdown that way. And Stafford will stay stuck at 2.
Fair enough. I will say that he stays stuck at 2 because he rushes one himself. He takes one over the goal line, something like that.
Yeah, there you go.
They actually had one last week that they should have challenged, that he was over, and they didn't. They were just like, we got 3 downs. It's cool. It's cool. Yeah, lost my 6 points there, dicks. All right. Passing completions. Stafford, 25.5. The over, paying plus money. Or I'm sorry, it's minus 114, not plus. Even money. Russ Wilson, 23.5. What do you guys think for completions?
That's tough. I like Russ over and Stafford under, I believe.
I think I'm sniffing the same thing.
Make it 3.
All right.
Yeah, I like it.
Keeping it simple. Rushing yards. Darrell Henderson, 69.5. Over, under.
Under.
I'm taking the over.
Ooh. You've been talking up this big Henderson game here, Justin. So you kind of have me like thinking now, and
I have.
Maybe I'll go the over. I'll go over.
I'm going to allow him to break one that sends him over. I think he's just going to have that weird, 2.5, 3 yards a carry kind of night, but he's going to break one that's going to push him over at 69.5.
All right, sounds good. So we got 1 under, 3 overs. Matthew Stafford, 5.5. 5.5.
Under.
Yeah, I gotta go under. I just do not
Stack
like
lunch.
this trap. It's a trap.
When it's too good to be true, it is.
I'll take
Yeah,
it. I
yeah.
say he cleans one up for a clean rush. What do you got, Dylan?
No, I'm good. I'll ride with the others there.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Russell Wilson, 23.5. I like the over there.
Yes.
Dude's gonna be running for his life.
I don't know. I think I'm still gonna go the under. I think that one has a better chance of hitting though, but I'm gonna go under.
Right. He's been sacked, I believe, 11 times on 27 blitzes. It's not great. I'll actually take the under there. I forgot I had that stat in the back of my head. Dak Prescott, for comparison, like really good offensive line versus Seahawks offensive line. Dak Prescott's been blitzed about 57 times, and he's been sacked about 6. So kind of a little comparison there. Yeah, not
Russell
great.
Wilson has still never missed a game.
Yep. Oh, dude,
Isn't
dude's
it just
fantastic.
amazing?
Yeah, he's fantastic. I love every bit of Mr. Unlimited. You got to have that unlimited mindset. Darrell Henderson on carries 15.5.
I'm gonna go under.
We got to go over here because
I'm
we're
going over. Yeah, I'm going
Game,
over.
yeah.
He's breaking the record tonight, right, guys? Henderson's breaking the record.
I don't mind. I got every piece of this Rams offense, so any one of them can go out and break some records.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take the over. That just doesn't seem like a lot. I feel like he's gonna get like 17 just to barely go over, but 15 doesn't seem like a lot.
You got the under, Emron?
Yes.
All right, very good. Sony Michel, 5.5. Also, mind you, they're not giving us any other props for just anyone else, just Michel and Henderson. So 15.5 for Henderson, 5.5 for Michel.
I don't want any part of this. I would have to take the under, I guess.
Yeah, I'd take the under as well.
I don't even know what his season stats are. I forgot he existed there for a minute. I guess I'll go under. I guess. I don't know. Didn't form an opinion.
What do you think, Emron?
I'm going to go under for Sonny Michel. Just not a fan. That trade never made sense for me in this offense. I don't think he fits in well.
They'd be wise to get him going and get him some touches, but I don't think he gets over that number.
Me neither.
I think it'd be a great 1-2 punch if they got him going. I just don't think they have.
That's what I'm
He
saying.
did have 20
tonight would be a good
touches
opportunity
against
for him.
he had 20 touches against the Bucks a couple weeks ago.
Oh, sure. That was the Henderson
Yeah,
out, right?
I think he was out though,
Oh,
right?
true. Yeah, you're right.
He left the game. All right, let's move over to receiving yards. Cooper Kupp, big number, 88.5. Can he hit it?
No, slightly under. I think you have a good game, like maybe 85-80.
Okay.
I think he's your 100-yard receiver for the Rams tonight. Like that 114, 115 range. He's gonna pop it. It's gonna be deadly.
You don't think they try to, pair up like a Jamal Adams or Quandre Diggs matchup on him? I guess Quandre Diggs wouldn't really matter, but
Doesn't matter. Both of them suck in coverage anyways. I say he sneaks past those safeties. Someone forgets to hand off, and you see like what happened against the Bears in Week 1, where they throw the ball and it's like, wait a minute, why does he have 20 yards of separation from the closest DB?
I was like watching Tyreek Hill last week. Oh my goodness.
Anything like that?
Yeah.
I got to go over. I think he has the most receiving yards in this game. He just has a way of just getting in and out of his routes very nicely and then knows when to sit. And with Matthew Stafford, they just have a great connection. So I love the over here.
All right, sounds good. I like the under as well with Emron. I think it's going to be really close, but I'll take it like 84-85. Still think, like we were talking, big Robert Woods game. Henderson's going to be involved a lot. So feeding into those narratives. DK Metcalf, 72.5. I am slamming the under.
Yeah, hard.
It's paying even money.
Yeah, I think you have to just because of how what was that last year when Jalen Ramsey held him to like 3 catches, if that, and like 15 yards or something.
Yeah, I'm going to go under.
Hard to
All right,
watch.
cool. Drel Henderson, 20.5. I'm taking the over there. Like I said, I think it's going to be a big Henderson night, and the number's pretty low. He's catching like anywhere from 4 to 6 balls. I think 20.5 is an easy number.
Yeah, I think it's an easy number as well. He could get that in two catches, really.
Yeah.
going to go under.
Okay. Emron's fading Henderson. He didn't like it tonight.
Not fading Henderson. I mean, I think he still adds a good game, but I think it's just going to be a weird game for him. Like 45 rushing yards, 15 receiving, and he'll probably still get a touchdown.
Hey, that's not bad. I'll take that.
That's what I'm saying. Not a bad game. It's just
all right. Fair enough.
I think
fair enough.
some of the numbers, I don't like them.
All right.
I'll be your Seahawks insider for this one and say he will go over because the Seahawks, for some reason, don't know what a screen pass is. Like when it happens, it's like, wow, a trick play. Like they don't know what it is. So he can easily catch one of those and get it on one catch. He'll just break for 50 yards on it. And then DK Metcalf will run him down on defense. It makes sense if you don't think about it.
Is it a Fred Swain kind of night? 21.5 receiving yards.
No. Under for me.
Yeah, I'm not on the
glasses. He's like, no.
Did you really ask him that?
I want to know. I want to be able to talk to John Schneider and see what kind of push they made to get Josh Gordon back on the team. When you have a guy like Freddie Swain as your wide receiver 3, and he doesn't end up back on the team, is just beyond me. So yeah, under, and I hope he tears his ACL in the first play. And
I dropped him today. Thank goodness. I don't want.
Thank goodness.
I don't want any of that hate on me.
Don't need that bad juju.
I dropped him today for Olamide Zaccheaus, who should get some rack with Russ Gage and Ridley out. I was like, holy shit. What do you think, Steve? Freddie Swain, 21.5, staying away?
No, I'm out on the Swain train.
I'm putting that on a T-shirt tonight.
I like that. I love it. Robert Woods, we're all in on it, right? 62.5. 62.5 receiving yards. Yep.
Easy.
Over as well. Steve?
For the sake of the show, I got to stick to the theme.
Got to stay on brand. All right, let's move over to receptions, and then we'll jump over to a few game props. We won't have time for too many. Let's see here. A couple of guys we haven't talked about. Djax, 1.5 catches. Just got to hit 2.
Sure. Give me the over.
Yeah. I like it. 2 catches. Deshaun Jackson. Maybe one goes big. Maybe they don't.
I'm going to go under. I think he only gets the 1.
Okay. What do you think, Dylan?
Yeah, let's just let everyone have a piece tonight, except Van Jefferson. DJX will get his 2. Maybe Van will have 2, but then the rest of them are all going to be. All the rest are going to be Cup and Woods.
It's funny you say that because Van Jefferson's number is at 3.5, and the over is paying plus money, so they're with you there.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom. I will take the under there as well, only because I'm going against Van Jefferson. He is my opponent this evening, and I need him to go under and not do anything.
Positive thinking.
I'm going under as well. I don't like that hook on it.
Okay. What do you think, Emron?
Under as well.
Under as well. Okay. Let's move over to some game props. We got about 6 minutes before kickoff. Will either team score 40 points this evening, gentlemen? 40 points.
No.
I'm going no as well. The no is paying minus 435. Looking at the Rams scoring for this evening, we have over 1.5 field goals and over under 3.5 touchdowns. What do you guys think?
I guess I like the field goal. I don't love the touchdown.
I kind of
go 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns.
The touchdown is 3.5. 3.5.
That half.
And field goals again was what?
1.5 for the Rams. This is only Rams.
Yeah, Rams over on the field goals, under on the touchdowns. I think they'll hit 3. The hook is stopping me.
Okay. I'm going under on the field goals and over on the touchdowns. 31-point game for the Rams.
Yeah, I'm going to take over on field goals. I think because for some reason the Seahawks got this knack of just getting stops in the red zone and forcing that field goal. So I'm going to take that field goal. And then, I think 3 touchdowns is your magic number. So like 30 points, and you're like 3 field goals, those 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
30, 31 points, maybe something weird.
Shut up.
All right, what do you think, Steve?
Oh yeah, I'm taking what'd I say? Over on
My
field
bad.
goals, under on touchdowns.
Both teams to score 19.5.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think I like that.
I like that too. So does the
Yeah,
book.
definitely.
Minus 256.
Easy.
Not a lot of value there. Both teams to score over 24.5. This is the over territory.
Yes.
You like that? Okay.
I still do like that. I think you could see like a 27-24 game.
Okay. What do you think, Dylan?
Yeah, that's just about what I was thinking. If I was going to ride my train, I was thinking like 30 to 27.
Oh, definitely hit the over on that one. I'm going to go with the no. The no is paying minus 185. The yes plus money at plus 140. So if you guys are in on the over, that's definitely something that you'd like to hedge there. Actually grabbing the plus money on it. Let's see. Defensive or special teams touchdown scored. I'm going to say no. And actually, it's minus 400. It's pretty heavy. But do you guys think of any guys that can take one to the house tonight, other than Ramsey?
No, I don't think. I think the quarterbacks are too good.
Yeah, I think the only way I could see that, it would have to be like one of the teams would have to fumble in their own territory, like inside their own 10-yard line or something, like a quick scoop and score, something like that. I just think the way the quarterbacks plays, a pick six would shock me. Now, of course, now that I said that, one of them's going to throw a pick six on like the first play.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Russell Wilson has this weird knack of throwing pick sixes. He hasn't thrown an interception yet.
He hasn't.
He's kind of due. And he has this weird thing on those outside throws. He doesn't put enough zip on it. We've seen pick sixes there before. And if he's throwing a DK on the outside with Jalen Ramsey there, I'm taking it.
All right.
Give it
I
to
like
me.
it.
I want it.
But you got DK who could just hawk him down like he did to Buda Baker last year.
That's true. Very true.
That's true. I'll take a Kenny Young touchdown. Something across the middle.
There you go.
Will there be a safety?
No.
Yeah, no.
I'll say yes.
Wait.
Fuck it.
There you go, Steve. Have some fun.
Let's go.
Let's go. Team to score first. Pretty much even money. The Rams are minus 127. Seattle's minus like 105. Pretty close still.
I'll say Rams.
One more time. What was that prop?
It was team to score first. I'll go with the Seahawks. We'll say they get the kick deferred to them. They kick a field goal on the opening drive.
Yeah, I actually do like that.
I agree. Yeah, I'll take Rams.
All right, let's see. Team to score last.
It's Seattle.
I'm gonna go with the Rams.
I'm going to go Rams. I see a late game field goal.
Okay. What do you
I'm
think,
going
Dylan?
to take Seahawks scoring some garbage points at the end.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Total first downs over under 47.5.
Total.
First downs.
I'm gonna go under. I'm gonna say we see some big touchdowns, so you don't see as many first downs.
All right, I like that. I like the under as well.
Yeah, these
I like
are some
them.
big play teams. Neither one of them are great at moving the ball down the field methodically. I'll take the under.
Okay, very good. Let's jump into our week 5 love and hate. It is 8:20 Eastern time. This one is about to get started. So let's dive into week 5 a little bit here. I'm going to take it off here with I love Chuba Hubbard this week. I think he's going to have a really good matchup up against the Eagles. Eagles are also top 5 in the league for most rushing yards allowed. Obviously, he's going to have that CMC role still, going to have a lot of volume, a lot of opportunity. Sam Darnold's looked good. That whole offense has looked amazing. Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, everything is rolling there. So give me some Chuba Hubbard. And I am fading Kenny Gallaudet. Like I mentioned earlier, not excited about that Trevon Diggs matchup. I do think Diggs will be healthy enough to lace him up and start in this game. So fading Kenny Gallaudet, and I like a sneaky start out of Kadarius Toney, who I think is going to be getting Anthony Brown territory. What do you guys think? Crazy? Not too crazy?
No, I think they're both pretty reasonable. Yeah, I think Chuba, he's due. It's a good matchup against that Philly defense.
Anyone starting Kenny Gallaudet?
Nope.
I got him in a few leagues, and he's sitting on my bench.
Okay.
Just got people with more upside, I feel like, especially with those Giants wide receivers. Any one of them. We've seen them all have days, I feel like.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I need to sidetrack something. I need to go back on everything I've said. The Seahawks are absolutely going to win this game 100% because I just realized that they're wearing their highlighter uniforms.
Oh boy,
It's over.
From
It's
the
over.
top, guys.
It's over.
it's over.
It's done. The Seahawks won 40
That's
to 10.
weird. I can see the cheerleaders here on the TV, and DK Metcalf had the same outfit for warmups. That's crazy.
Bet he looked damn good in them too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that crop top was looking fine on DK for sure. I mean, he was letting that midriff flow. Absolutely. But I never noticed it before. They had the same exact outfit. That's crazy. All right, so everyone's feeling the Kenny Gallaudet benching, loving the Chuba Hubbard. Steve, who do you got on your love hate? What are we looking at?
So for my love, I got Kenneth Gainwell. Sirianni came out and said he's going to see more work in the backfield there. He was a target machine for them. And I like that to continue with Jalen Hurts kind of just dinking it down to him. I like to see his role just continue to expand in this, as Miles Sanders just really hasn't been able to perform as they would have liked him to. So I like him this week and down the stretch. Melvin Gordon, I just don't really like this week. He's going against the Steelers defense, who's just a very tough defense against the run. Last week, he saw his fewest carries. He was kind of game scripted out when they were down to the Ravens. But I just don't think he's going to have much success here. I don't think he has a very high ceiling. So I hate him this week.
Okay, fair enough. Dylan and Emron, if you had to choose between the two, who would you start, Kenny Gainwell or Melvin Gordon, if that was your last flex spot?
Gainwell. I think Gainwell's carving out a role, and I think we can all kind of see the writing on the wall for Melvin Gordon. It's Javonte Williams' team very, very soon.
Okay. What do you think, Dylan?
God, it pains me to say it. I don't even want to take. I want nothing to do with Gainwell, but if you get, it's just one of those things where you got to just pick one. It's like, yeah, okay, I'll go with Gainwell.
I'm going Kenny. I've been banging this drum all preseason. This week, I was telling everybody and their mother to buy Kenny Gainwell. I just sent out before the show started to trade Nyheim Hines for Kenny Gainwell. Balls to the Waller. If you're watching, ignore everything I'm about to say. Kenny Gainwell is just going to take over that backfield. Like Sirianni is going to give him the reins. If you look back to, Eckler when Sirianni was with the Chargers, to Nyheim Hines when he was with the Colts, he feeds his guys in the passing game. That's exactly what Kenny Gainwell's for. Steve was mentioning already that he's going to increase his carries, and he's already scored in the red zone. Like they're giving him priority in the red zone over Miles Sanders. So Kenny Gainwell all day for me. Emron, who do you have up for your love hate? So
this week I'd actually love a little homer action, but I love the matchup, and I think this team's starting to get it together. I like Darnell Mooney this week.
Yes, sir.
It's kind of surprising last week that Allen Robinson doesn't look like he's the number one target for Fields. Fields has a big arm, and Darnell Mooney showcasing that speed. So I like them to do some damage on that Raiders secondary. And for my hate, I know we're supposed to pick a player, but I picked an entire team's position group. I don't like the Steelers this week. I know we talked about it earlier. I don't like the Steelers wide receivers in this matchup against the Broncos. The Broncos have a really good secondary with Fuller, with Callahan, Jackson, and Simmons. It's just there's so many, and Ben's just banged up. I just don't like this matchup. He's got to handle Miller and Chubb. And it's
we're losing a little bit, bud.
Can you guys hear me?
That's better.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going in and out for a second there.
It's weird. The headset I thought would be fine. But yeah, so I love the talent of all three of the players, but it's just, between the matchup and Ben being hurt, it just sucks. Like, this is another team, not to get too off topic, but, I was reading earlier this week that they could be, this year's Tampa Bay Bucks, where if they pull out and get somebody like Aaron Rodgers next year, like, that offense is like, with Najee as well, like they got a lot of weapons there that they're not that far away.
1,000% agree. I would love to see Aaron Rodgers in that division next year, either with the Steelers or the Browns. I think those are perfect fits for him. What do you think, Dylan? Would you start Darnell Mooney or Deontay Johnson this week?
Mooney.
I like Mooney a lot. He's been looking good with Fields. Same to you, Steve. Baby. What do you think?
I actually like Deontay Johnson more. Tough matchup, I get that, but I mean, we've seen some Steelers wide receiver, like you saw Claypool a while ago, get 15 targets, and Deontay Johnson, when healthy, he's that guy. I like him to have a big week.
All right, I like it. Deontay Johnson is still Ben's guy. Like, even last week, the arm wasn't better in my opinion, and he was still hitting him everywhere on the field. His average depth of target really isn't that deep, so it kind of also runs into the same game flow and game script of feeding Najee targets. Like a lot of his targets are really close to the line of scrimmage, so I like that there too. But tough for me to deny Mooney with that matchup up against the Raiders. Their secondary is really beat up. Fields and Lazar, they're getting they're getting on the same page. It's another game with a Bill calling plays, so I'm trusting Fields and Mooney in this one. And we're looking at the Rams. They are kicking on their first drive, so let's go under. Yeah. All right, let's jump into our final sit or starts for this week. We're looking at Sunday and Monday games. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, Dylan. What are your love hates, buddy?
Am I allowed to love a player in this game?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I love, just in general, Alex Collins as a human being. Like, no one believes me when I say it, because I wasn't even podcasting, I don't think, when there's your special teams touchdown. Nah, darn it, just kidding. Sorry, I got distracted. He made a couple moves.
It was commercial. It's really scared the hell out of me there.
When the Seahawks drafted Alex Collins, it was like the 5th, 6th round out of Arkansas. I said, this guy is our next Marshawn. This dude's a beast. Marshawn was still there, if I'm not mistaken. He was definitely there when he came back with a second stint, Alex Collins. And this dude can learn, and he's going to be a beast. I love him. But for some reason, they went out and got Penny, and then they kicked Collins to the curb. And then he went and killed it in Baltimore, but then they drafted a couple running backs. He's like the Tyrod Taylor of running backs almost, without the injuries. 100%
agree.
So he's finally back in Seattle. He's been making the most out of his limited carries behind Chris Carson, and he's going to show tonight that he can be here and be the 1-2 punch that Seattle is desperate for in the running back field. So tonight's his night to show out.
I don't hate it. Honestly, the Ravens could use him more than the Seahawks could right now.
And I hate Rashad Penny. Just
all right, fair enough. That's both for tonight.
That's not fantasy related, but
that's all on brand for you. So that's what we really appreciate.
Oh yeah, anytime.
All right, so now let's move on to our final starter sits for the Sunday Monday games. First up, we're looking up at Sam Darnold, having a great year so far, going up against the Eagles versus Joe Burrow, going up against Green Bay. Keep in mind this Green Bay matchup, it looks like Jair Alexander is not going to be lacing him up. He's going to be out. A little bit more upside going up against that Packers defense.
Give me my guy, Joey Touchdowns, man. Dylan was talking about how much he loves the Panthers. I think I love the Bengals just as much. Burrow's off to a great year, man. And all those people down Jamar Chase, pretty quiet right now. So no Jair Alexander. And fun fact, the Packers have lost their last 2 visits into Cincinnati. I think the Bengals, that's one of my best bets for the weekend. I think Burrow's going to have a big game and they're going to win.
Okay. All right. I like it. I'm starting Burrow in my Scott Fishbowl League. I think this is a good week to go over Darnold. I think Darnold's been playing really well, but the matchup with Green Bay should be high scoring. I think the Eagles and the Carolina game will be less so. You're going to see a couple more stops on each side. Dylan, Steve, what do you guys think?
I mean, I have the Bengals upsetting Green Bay this week. I said that during the show. That was like my upset pick. I love this game for some reason. Now with Alexander might not going, even more so. I just love it. I love him. But and the thing with Jamar Chase, just to go back on your point there, you can't tell me that you weren't nervous when this man came out and said it's harder to see the ball without the white stripes on the ends. Like when someone makes a comment like that, you can't tell me you get a little nervous about what he's going to do on the field.
He sounds nervous, but I'm like, the kid's got talent. He destroyed college football. Yeah.
It's an alarming comment, but at the same time, it's kind of like a chuckle. Like, just watch what he does on the field. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to be able to adapt. We talked about that a few times after week 1. Joe Burrow came to the interview room, literally like walks off Jamar Chase, walks in Joe Burrow, and he just sits down, and you can tell he looks pissed off. He's like, I thought he couldn't catch anything. What happened?
I love Burrow, man.
I love his attitude. I absolutely do too. Steve, what do you think here in this, put a bow on it for us, Darnold versus Burrow this week?
I got Burrow. He's my dynasty quarterback. I like him. Reigning offensive player of the week. So I like him going up against this Packers team. The Eagles defense has been pretty decent against the passing game. So I think that continues, and just not 100% sold on Darnold yet.
Yeah. And one last little tidbit. I don't know if Joe Mixon is going to suit up or not, but looking like the negative side of that he's going to be on the bench this week. more positive game flow for the quarterback position, right? Like, how much are you really going to rely on Samaje Perine going up against the Packers, right? I feel like the game flow and game script should be very positive for Joe Burrow this week. A ton of upside for him. What do you guys think? Matt Ryan versus the Jets in London, 9 a.m. on Sunday, or Derek Carr versus the Bears?
Ryan.
Boy, oh boy.
I don't like the jolly old London visit, oi. Not for me. Pass the sugar. Maybe think that's the right country.
I got to pass on Matt Ryan. He's just with no receivers this week.
Yeah, but I also think Derek Carr came back to earth last week a little bit. He was on a tear, and we saw what Joey Bosa said, right? He gets hit. He's a different guy. And by the way, the team he's playing this week leads the NFL in sacks.
Quinn and Mack have been monsters.
Yeah.
So I guess the question here is, what's worse, Derek Carr and his awful offensive line going against a great defense, or Matt Ryan going against not great defense but has no weapons? I'm gonna have to give Matt Ryan the benefit of the doubt. Basically, I just don't see Derek Carr being on his feet. I just I don't like London. I don't like the situation, but I'm gonna have to just give Matt Ryan a chance here.
Fair enough. I think that Jets group up front's actually getting a lot better. You got Quinnen and Quincy Williams. They've been very good. CJ Mosley's been really good. I'm going to go with Derek Carr here. I think there's a little bit more upside, and Gruden will come back. Emron, you mentioned the Raiders coming back down to earth. I thought the play calling was atrocious. I think that they will try to be a little bit more pass heavy. I felt like they focused way too much on Josh Jacobs in that game when they were playing from behind. I did not like the play calling. I think that they're going to be a lot more aggressive this week. And did they play their last game at home? I know they're playing this one at home.
No, they didn't. They played in LA.
Okay, gotcha. So I'm going to go Derek Carr there, but like we said, guys, it's really close, and that's why we put it in there. So, all right, this next one, only start one. Latavius Murray versus Indianapolis, Damien Williams at Las Vegas, or Henry Ruggs versus Chicago. A couple more Raiders and Bears in here.
Yeah, not to be a total homer again, but I'd go with Williams. With the Ravens, I just don't know, because you always have Lamar there. He could steal something. Williams doesn't really have competition now with Montgomery out. He scored a touchdown last week, averaged, I think, like 8 yards a carry almost. And then Ruggs, it's 80-yard touchdown or bust. He's not going to have like a 5-catch, 80-yard game. That's not the type of receiver. He literally has to have a long touchdown. Otherwise, you're looking at a 1-catch, 5-yard game.
Okay. Fair enough. I like Damien Williams there as well. I'm starting him in fantasy. And again, just going back to that game flow with Bill Lazar, like another week of him calling plays. He's really focused on the team running the ball and just getting easy big gainers. So I'm going Dame there as well. Yeah,
definitely Dame. I'm not saying Dame is Austin Eckler, but look what Austin Eckler did to the Raiders.
Yeah,
made him look foolish. So I'm not saying it's the same, but it's close.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Damien Williams is first for me. If I had to choose a second, I go Henry Ruggs and Lat Murray last. Murray faces off against a good Colts defense, very good against the run. Ruggs, he's solid, but he is a little bit boomer bust. You'd want to see some more consistency out of him. And Damien Williams is stepping in a starting running back role.
All right, keeping it simple there. Clean sweep for Williams. Next up, we've got CEH, Clyde Edwards-Helaire versus Buffalo, Damien Harris at Houston, or Marquise Brown versus Indianapolis. I'm going Damien Harris at Houston. I think he can have a very big game in this one. What do you guys think? He was close to my love player of the week, actually, too, Dame Harris.
Go ahead, Steve.
I think it's easily Dame Harris here. Clyde Edwards-Helaire just has a really tough matchup against Buffalo. He has put together some solid weeks lately, but they were against weaker rundies. Hollywood, I just couldn't do it. I like Damian Harris against a bad Texans defense.
What kind of catch that was? Is that Robert Woods?
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah, Robert Woods was a weird one.
Hell?
Yeah,
first down.
He's already going tonight.
Move the chains.
1 down, 8 more catches to go.
There you go.
Right? Jesus.
Yeah, so Steve, what I was thinking was I was looking at Helaire as well. All of us were really worried about week 1 because we saw all the struggles last year. He's coming off back-to-back 100-yard games, and I think this is going to be it's the game of the week, Chiefs-Bills. I think it is going to be high scoring, and he can do some damage out of the backfield as well. So I'm going to go with Helaire. I think it's going to be a high-scoring matchup, and I think he's going to get a piece of that pie.
All right, fair enough. I like it. What do you think, Dylan?
Yeah, I guess I'm the weird one. I don't know. I just love Marquise Brown. I just love the connection he's got going with Lamar. I don't know, the matchup with Indy's a little tough, but they just seem to always get it done. I mean, Brown's had a couple drops. Obviously, we've seen his issues with that, but seems it's on and off. I don't think he's as boom and bust as like Ruggs. He gets more targets than that.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't.
He's been looking really good this year. I've been impressed by him. He looks stronger. He looks faster. That diving catch last week was amazing.
Yeah.
Must have had 2 girlfriends in the house. He certainly didn't the week before that when he had a bad week. But yeah. I don't hate that at all. I think these are all good options this week. Me and Steve are going Dame. We got Emron going with Hilaire and Dylan going with Marquise Brown. So we got a little bit of everything here. Next up, we got Antonio Brown versus Miami, Marvin Jones Jr. versus Tennessee, or Melvin Gordon at Pitt. Sounds like we're all pretty out on Melvin Gordon this week. I like Antonio Brown here.
Go with Brown, too.
Yep.
I'm going to go Marvin Jones. It's pretty, I mean, it's a dysfunctional franchise right now with Urban getting wild with the ladies. But I do like Marvin Jones against a really bad Titans defense.
So, Steve, are you saying that he's going to grind out a win like he was grinding out?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I couldn't help it. That was perfect.
Oh, man.
Thanks,
I haven't
Dylan.
cried that hard since I was a little girl. Oh, my God. That was fantastic. Anyways, I wish Matt Nagy would just get on the same train or get on the same boat with Urban Meyer. Like, we can't get this guy fired to save our life. Like, Urban Meyer's begging to get fired. I feel like Urban Meyer went out and did like what Antonio Brown was doing to the Raiders. It's like calls his agent, what do we got to do here? He's like, have you heard of the Me Too movement? I think we can take advantage of this. I think we can work this in our favor. Let's get you to USC, pal. I don't know.
Jags play the Bears this season. Oh, it doesn't look like they do. Darn.
I played last year, yeah.
They could have met up and just went and had a wild night out after the game.
After dinner with the grandkids.
After
Dinner with the grandkids. Priorities, right? I actually do like Marvin Jones, but I still like Antonio Brown more. Starting every bit of Chenal, go out and buy Marvin Jones. Go buy Chenal. We have DJ Shark potentially out for the season, it looks like. The majority of the season, if not all of it. So absolutely love that start too, Steve. That's not a bad one. Looks like we're all fading Melvin Gordon, though. Just a couple more here. We're going to head out. We've got Odell Beckham Jr. at the Chargers, Jalen Waddle at Tampa Bay, or Chuba Hubbard versus Philly. Chuba is my love for the week, so I'm going with Chuba.
Give me Hubbard as well.
Same.
How do you just not love a name like Chuba? That
Couldn't agree
alone.
more. That alone. I love it. All right, we got some tight ends. Robert Tonyan versus Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry found the end zone last week, first time of the year.
I'm going to go. It's tough. I would like more consistency out of Henry. He did have that last week. He had a solid game. I'm going to go. I will actually go Henry just because you're seeing Cobb get in a groove actually with Rodgers, which I think is going to kind of tank Tanyan's stock a bit.
I'm with Steve.
That's a fair point. What do you think, Dylan?
That is a fair point. You haven't seen as much of the Tonyan action with the return with Cobb. It just seems like that was like his replacement for him, and now he doesn't need him. He's kicked into the curb. I don't like Henry either. It's just one of those matchups again where you put it out here and you're like, God, you don't want either one. But I guess you'll take Henry against Houston. Houston sucks. Just for the matchup alone, I gotta take Henry. I gotta take Henry.
I got to pick Robert Tonyan because I need Cobb to not do anything. So last week, Curtis Samuel comes back off the IR, and I drop Randall Cobb in Dynasty, and then he goes off for 2 touchdowns. I still won. It wasn't anything. It's not like I was going to start him anyways, but now my opponent this week in the same league picked him up and is starting him against me. Come on. It's a double FU.
Tough times.
Tough time. Yeah, we'll get through it. We'll make haste. Last one up here. Mark Andrews, premier tight end, against Kyle Pitts, who may not have been a premier tight end, but this week there's nobody left. Ridley's out. Justin Gage is out. What are we thinking?
I'm going Kyle Pitts, man. This is what he was drafted for.
Oh, Lord, I hope.
It's his moment. Yeah. I was gonna say it earlier. I was waiting for this topic to pop up. This is his time right here. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree this is his time. I just think it has like bad written all over it. Games in London, so the travel, you have all that. No, their offense is just, I think, going to be god awful. They're god awful. Mark Andrews has just been Mr. Consistent and doing it at a pretty good rate right now. So I just got to keep riding with Andrews.
Yeah, I'm still going to be riding with Andrews as well. Similar example we used earlier is just the quarterbacks, right? Like I'm going to trust Lamar more than Matt Ryan. I'm going to trust the Ravens to get into the red zone more frequently, not turn the ball over when we get close to the goal line. So I'm going to go there as well. I think they're just going to have more opportunities to just score in general. So awesome. Fantastic. We are about halfway through the first quarter here, and I don't believe we have a score yet. So this under is looking smashing. Loving that. Do you guys have anything to close it down with before we head out?
What was that Lockett over for his the reception? Was that like 22?
23.5. Longest reception.
Cashed into that over, though.
Hey, let's go.
Let's go.
Best bet
There
of the
goes
night,
your boy
baby.
Alex Collins, too, up the middle, making haste up the field. Wow, a nice little 13-yarder there.
I love Alex, boy. Let me tell you something about Alex Collins, man. I already did. I'm just saying. I love him. I was so glad when they brought him back.
Knock on wood. He's looking good. He's got that visor on. I mean, these guys don't know what they got themselves into.
Like, I know Chris Carson runs hard. I love Chris. I'm fine with Chris. But when you watch Alex run, he's got that movement too, and he never stops moving upfield, and he'll juke you out of your shoes. I just love the guy. I've never hated this guy once. And I watched him when he was in Baltimore too, and he did the same stuff there. He was great.
Yeah, I'm with it. He's been a couple of, well, not a couple, but I've picked him up a few years, in fantasy for the plug and play. So I've never hated him. Nothing bad to say about him.
Not at all.
Good at football.
Good at his job. Steve, Emron, anything?
Just buckle up. We got a full day of football on Sunday with this London game. We starts early and goes late, so let's ride.
That game starts the same time we do, so that'll be fun.
It does.
Yep, 9 a.m.
Weird
Sunday.
having live football, yeah.
Let's see, Russ. Ooh, Will Disley and Russ not looking good. 2 missed connections there, but we got a flag on the play. We'll see what happens. This should be a fun game here. You gentlemen enjoy the rest of your night. Appreciate everybody that stopped by with us. Please be sure to smash the like button before you head out. And take care. We'll see you on Sunday. Later.